Hi, welcome back to another video from Coordination. In this video, we are going to continue our discussion on how to use if-else condition. In the previous one, we learned how if condition statements can help our computer or our program to take a decision and give us an output. In this video, we are going to continue. However, we will be adding one more interesting concept, which is elif, where if you get multiple conditions, still need one answer, how we can do that. So let's go, and after that we will be creating a mini project on Scratch as well as on Python to see the difference. So let's get started. So here's a scenario. Suppose there is a device that only two people can access. So how, and if anyone else tries to access that, they will not be able to access or unlock that device. So for that, we are going to use the if condition. Now let's go to when clicked, and then I'm going to ask the question, what is your name, or maybe username, because usernames are unique. So let's say enter. So let's say enter your username. So once the user enters, we are going to store that in the answer variable. Now let's go to control and let's add the first block, and in that we will be using the same equality operator, and in that let's say answer is equals to 50. Now let's suppose the first username is Ariel, and if that is correct, if the same person has entered, we are going to say device unlocked. So let's say device unlocked. So once the device gets unlocked, Ariel will be able to access that device. What if there is another person named Moana? How she can access the device? Because she is also one of the user of the device. So for that, we will have to use if-else block. Again, because we have another condition to check, because there are two people who need to get the access. So here, I'm going to name it as Moana. And if Moana has entered her username, that means her device will also, the same device will get unlocked. But what if there is someone else who has entered it? In that case, we are going to say invalid user. That's it. And once that will be done, let's hit run and check it out. So I'm going to click on green flag, and here let's start with Ariel. So Ariel, device unlocked, right? Now it hits one, and then we are also going to type the value saying Moana. And there you go, device unlocked. Now here you will see that if I enter somewhere like Jane, you will see invalid user. This is how if-elif condition works. However, in Scratch, it does not provide right away the elif block. So if you have multiple conditions, you will have to use multiple ifs and the else at the end. Now try to do the same task in the Python. Elif means elif, right? A second condition to check before giving up. Now here, I'm going to get started. Okay, so with this one, I'm going to create another variable. Answer is equals to input function, followed by the question saying enter your username. So once that is done, now I'm going to use the if condition saying that if the answer variable value is equals to Ariel, colon. Make sure you're using a colon, because this colon is going to decide the next line of the code belongs to this if condition. You can see in Scratch, we have the block that is helping us to differentiate between the block that is inside the if, that is inside the else block. When I say block, the purple color block inside, right? But in Python, it is really hard to figure out which line of code belongs to if block or maybe a loop. So for that, we have this colon. Now, when you use a colon, by default, you will get this extra space, which is known as indentation. Whenever you will see this indentation, it means that this line of code belongs to the line above it, which means the if block. Okay, so let's say that I'm going to print device unlocked. So this is for the person named Ariel, then elif. Now here you can ultimately write, and here I'm going to name as Moana. Now once Moana will be the one entering it, we will again say print device unlocked. That is done. Now, what if the another person whose username has not been stored here? We are going to print invalid user. Now, it's interesting, right? That here you have different blocks which represents different kinds of codes, right? However, here, like I said, to distinguish between this print, and this print, this indentation is the one that is helping us. This print belongs to if. Why? Because it is having this indentation in the starting. Elif is not the part of if condition, so that's why it does not have any extra spacing in the starting. Same, now let's hit run and let's try. Username, let's try again with Ariel. Now once I enter Ariel, it's basically having this. Ariel answer is not defined and I have an error. I didn't write the name correctly, so that's why I got an error. Now let's run it again, and here I'm going to enter saying Ariel. So here it is, device unlocked. Now I run it again for Moana. Now device unlocked, and last one, let's try for Jane, because Jane is not having an access. So invalid user. Now we actually understood how the if conditions work. You had 3 conditions to check that whether the person is Ariel, Moana or someone else. So if the user were Ariel or Moana, the device got unlocked. However, if the user is anyone apart from this name, they are being called as invalid users. So this is how the equality operator is helping you to check the condition. Hope you like this video. I'll see you in the next one. You're doing good. Just keep it up.